I love what I'm seeing is just how well that outside lane can make it happen.
You saw it while we were away at commercial. Watch that 13 right there in the middle of the screen into the 24. Oh, can't believe that didn't cause an accident. And then the 13 of Myatt Snyder way up the track, but gathered it in, saved it.
And there just wasn't enough room right there, Mike. And Haley came down a little bit and wound up getting on the right front there of that 13 truck, and it almost caused a huge crash.
You got to give a tip of cap again to Jen Jo Cobb. She was right there and just held her line, went down off the road. Great racing, good heads up running.
Side by side. At about 8 rows deep. Up front, the 2 of Spencer Gallagher on the outside. He started on the front row. Austin Hill in the 0-2. That 2 of Spencer Gallagher, they had slipped back. That outside lane had slipped back. He was running 14th. And they have gathered themselves as an outside line and moved right back to the front. It's got to be encouraging for those guys that are going to have to use that outside line to get to the front maybe later in the race for the win.
Well, I think, the thing that it shows us again is the GMS trucks, they're really fast. Spencer Gallagher is driving a GMS truck, which is Spencer and Johnny Sauter and Stuart Friesen and Justin Haley that you see right there in the 24 truck. And that was a tight call.
That's from the spotter about a half a mile away, clear. Yeah. And he was right, barely.
And you mentioned the spotters, Mike, how challenging it is for the spotters here at Talladega to keep their drivers in the right spot at this 2.66 mile track. Oh, a little contact it looked there between the 0-2 of Austin Hill. And the 13 of Snyder, was that Snyder that came down?
Look at this big run for Lagasse to the inside.
Lagasse.
That was from a push. Todd Gilliland in that bright yellow 4 truck gave a huge shove to Lagasse, and it worked out.
We've had Austin Hill leading, and now Scott Lagasse from 2 of the smaller teams in the garage. And Spencer Gallagher now getting the push from Todd Gilliland to the front.
NASCAR's watching this closely from our cameras and every angle they can to make sure that Gilliland wasn't locked on to the bumper of the 02.
We've seen Spencer Gallagher up front for so much of this race here today, Hermie.
Watch that 2 of Gallagher moving around the racetrack. They plan to pit on lap 38. Very interesting to see if he's able to hold his position up front and if he has any difficulty getting to pit road under green with 2 to go in this stage.
Well, that's coming up just 2 laps from now. And Michael, you've talked about it throughout the course of the day today, the challenge of pitting under green here at Talladega.
Yeah, there's plenty of room to get to the left, but inevitably somebody just doesn't get the word. We talked to the NASCAR officials about it, and they said they were going to speak to the spotters and mention it in the drivers' meeting. We'll have to see if it all pays off.
Well, the hard thing is in these trucks is it's hard to get your hand out the window. And a lot of times as a driver, you'll stick your hand out the window to wave to the guys behind you to let you know. And then it's also hard to stick it up high enough to where the seats so you can see it in the back window, and the spoiler's so tall. So communication really comes through the spotters. And as a driver, sometimes you've got spotting going on that requires something besides the message that didn't get delivered, and it causes havoc when you come to pit road.
Riding with Noah Gragson, one of our championship contenders, but currently sits back in the 18th spot.
Sounds like the popular decision. Report from Phil as guys start peeling off now.
And here they come. And executed it cleanly. Timothy Peters there in the 25. There's the 2 of Gallagher, Hermie.
It's going to be right side tires and fuel for the 2. Well, Spencer Gallagher did a really good job of getting down on the apron and down to pit road and not causing any issues. They are doing this to have track position. Again, when the field goes back to green, the 98 of Grant Enfinger, he had already dropped back from the front to about mid-pack before coming to pit road. There's going to be no changes. Left side tires and fuel for Enfinger.
You see there on the right-hand side of the screen some contact. The 12 of Tanner Thorson. I believe that was the 16 of Brett Moffitt that had damage.
It is. Moffitt, you see, slow on the track. We're going to stay green.
Bring it to me.
Moffitt, the first driver outside the cut line in the playoff standings, as Todd Gilliland brings the front pack to the line. 1 lap remaining here in stage 2, and look at that damage to the right front of one of our championship hopefuls, Brett Moffitt, 4-time winner this season. Hermie's waiting on him.
Vince, the 16 came into this race with an 8-point cushion only to advance to the next round. You can see him up on the right side, a lot of damage on the right front, a critical part aerodynamically of this truck. Obviously right side tires, but a lot of time will be spent on the right front of this truck trying to fix this damage, but it was contact with the 12 that caused the problems for the 16.
Well, and Hermie reported just a moment ago on the 2 of Spencer Gallagher, who's led the most laps today, on his pit stop. They've got an uncontrolled tire penalty as the green and white checkers fly, and Todd Gilliland has won stage 2. Gilliland, the 18-year-old. Wow. Hold your breath. Some contact at Talladega. Nail-biting time.